It took me a long time to come on and do this video. And after speaking to my sister, my best friend, she said something that made a lot of sense. She said, who else is going to speak up? Because I didn't want to speak up at first, and I don't like engaging in this type of energy. But I really have a passion for not just justice, but when I see things going on, when something is bothering me and I know that it's not right, I just have to speak up. And that's what I'm here to do today, to let's talk, let's speak up. I noticed that we are protesting. Some people are using this to loot and all that. We're telling people not to do it. We're asking them to do, to be mindful and the things that's happening because they're doing it and the curfews and stuff. But I understand the anger that is going on. So one, we have to understand that. But I have seen this go on from my age, from Rodney King and everyone else that has went through this. And it feels like we're going through a revolving door. I don't understand why, and have anyone thought about this? And this is what I have been silent about, because I am trying to put some things together so we don't have to protest, we don't have to march. And one of the things is, and no, the main thing is, have anyone thought about going to Congress? Have anyone thought about putting a bill together? See, we're so reactive, we don't think of the proactiveness of ourselves. So why haven't we put a bill together as yet? And I'm not asking, I want y'all to think. Because after blacking out stores and, oh, we're not going to do this and we're not going to buy this online and that, we eventually have to buy it. And we end up buying double because we blacked out that, because we're not equipped as yet to put together multiple small businesses and be able to sell like the conglomerates like Amazon and Walmart and stuff. So we are going to have to come together. But instead of us marching and burning things down, why don't we use their own tactics? Why don't we write a bill that, since these police officers want to act like a civilian and they haven't taken their duties and what they have signed up for seriously, or they're going through what they're going through, write a bill that, just like every civilian out there that commit a crime, they get just as tougher penalties as we would. Whatever happened to us saying they can get the death penalty too, which I'm not for the death penalty. But if you want to act that way, yes, some states do accept the death penalty and life in prison. It's time for us to go to Congress. If we really want to march, it's time for us to put on those shoes, get this bill together, go to the Senate, go to the Capitol, let them know. We're ready. Because if the homosexuals can do this, and just like my best friend told me today, they don't get picked on, they don't get messed with. They're also a group of people and they're a culture, but they're respected. If we want respect, we got to play their game. You remember my post about all we have to do is stand up and the game will be over? It's a game. And what they're doing is having us riled up so we could stay in the game. I hope y'all are actually voting, keeping, yes, the police unions, but we write a bill about that too. See, I'm not talking about staying in the small areas like, oh, the states, oh, we're going to go to the state and we're going to ask for this and we're going to ask for that. No. I'm tired of us going to the states. Every state have their own particular law. It's just like your president said, or the president said that if the governor doesn't follow his rules and this and that. So yeah, but if you want the main law, take it to Congress. And then it'll be trickled down to the other people in the states and how they want to fix it. But we have to take it to the big dogs first. And once we put that in front of them, look what the gay people did. Look what they did. They came as numbers. Who is going to, are we going to come back as numbers? Yeah, I know Farrakhan did it. Yes, I know Farrakhan did it with the Million Man March and this and that, but we did not put a demand on Congress. And if we are the majority, well, we're really the majority, because the other set of people, they're dying off in 5 or 6 years. But when are we going to ever step up, stop being emotional, and be reactive, and take some proactive steps? All this we're doing, it's not new. That's why I talked about retrograde a couple weeks ago. That retrograde was actually going to kick us in the ass to wake up. Now, this is now boiled up. What are we going to do when the pot simmer down? We're going to wait for the next killing for us to boil up again, to loot again, for them to just arrest police? No. When are we going to sit here and say, you know what? Let's play the game the way they play it. Let's take it on their doorstep. And if they don't want to pass the bill, I am encouraging everyone, and I said this when I first came back on Facebook, this is your preparation for you to run, because we can get them all out of office if all of us get our behind up, learn how to govern ourselves, and run for those seats so it could be ran right, so we can have some integrity, some morality, things that is going on now. We're complaining and they're laughing and they're just, oh shit, all they're going to do is complain. Give them another 2 more weeks. Okay. But someone's talking on this, so I'm seeing what they're saying. They're going to give us another 2 more weeks. They're going to let it die down and give it another 2 or 3 more years, or a few more months. We're going to go through the same thing again. Your president showed you the power he holds. And he holds, it was all incorrect. He used his power for his limelight. The same power that we have given him and placed him in office. And I don't care who didn't vote. For the ones that did vote, is the same power we hold because we put them there. We are not in North Korea. We are not in some third world country. We have the power. When are we going to use our power correctly? I am calling every person that is in politics, Senate, all that. If you hear this video, and you all have not thought about this, and the Democrats, supposed to be on our end, have y'all put a bill together for us. Put this bill together. Death penalty, life in prison, more evaluations on police officers, much more. We don't want it yearly or when they choose to evaluate them. Get outside psychiatrists that is not in the police force, that they cannot bribe to cover up their records. Once they do something, you automatically put them on suspension and get them out of there. Or they have to follow certain rules. But who is putting this together? So, politicians. People running for presidency. People running for state and senate. you councilmen, everyone. I'm talking to all of y'all. Lobbyists, let's put this bill together. Let's stop this madness for real. Because all we're going to see is a revolving door. It's going to repeat and repeat and repeat. How do they stop things from going on? They make laws. If the system is broken, let's rewrite the law. They're not the only one inside the Capitol. They're not the only one in the White House. If y'all really say you're with us and for us, okay. The plea is, can we just get together and write a stricter law for police officers or any law enforcement that actually abuse their authority? It's abuse. And I'm not trying to put them down, because there are police officers out there that is there for us. But the ones that's abusing the system or has used the system for their personal gain, it is time for us to put tougher laws on them. Matter of fact, aren't we paying them? Who's paying their paycheck? It's time for us to speak up. I wasn't planning on staying on long. Like I said, this right here is something that I don't even want to touch. I don't want to get my energy into. I am living my life and loving it. But it's something when I see people hurting. When you send me a text message and say, oh, we're not going to do anything on this date. To me, that's reaction. Well, yeah, you proactive it. But it's reaction, because what's the solution afterwards? I can't keep on staying quiet and know that there's a greater solution out there. So, protesters, activists, marchers, let me call all y'all activist names out that you know you're popular and no one has been saying anything. And it's just like we're in the circus and everyone's on a tightrope. Let's turn this around. Take this shit to Congress. Let's write a bill. So whoever is with me, you can inbox me. But I'm going to I wrote a bill one time before, and I'm going to try to put one together. Who's going to meet me in Congress? Who wants to do this? Who's tired of this? Listen, I'm losing enough weight. I don't need a march. I'm going to say it like that. I don't need a march. I don't need a protest. I ain't getting my fingers dirty. I ain't getting, nah. I'm too pretty and I'm too bougie when I want to be to do all that. But what we can do, we can meet them on their doorstep. And we ain't coming to fight. We ain't coming to argue. See, let me tell you something about the mafia. The mafia ain't out there sitting up there marching and protesting. If the mafia wants something done, they know how to do it. You think the cartels are out here marching and protesting? No, they're not. Why is it that we're the only set of people that will go out there and protest and not sit and not take it further? We are supposed to be one of the biggest set of group of people in this country. If we put everything together, our money, our resources, we will see, and our respect for one another, we will see this stop. But it just don't stop from our money and resources. It stopped where they gave us the power. They gave us a voice. This is our voice. This is our voice. They wrote the Constitution. They wrote everything else. Every law that has been passed is because something was going wrong and they had to balance it. It is time for us to balance this. It's time for us to say, look, Congress, we're here. And every senator, every councilman, every governor, I noticed something. I noticed that every city was big cities that actually had the protests. But I sat back and watched, and as they put all the cities up, and I lived in the city. I lived in Alabama, the state of Alabama. I lived in the state of Mississippi. I have not seen one protest. And that's kind of sad, because that means that their voice is totally shut down, totally off. And I might be wrong. I haven't looked it up yet to see if Birmingham or somewhere in Pascagoula, somewhere in Mississippi or Jackson, they had their protests. But at the end of the day, we can stop this protesting and just take it straight to the people that's doing this and put our demands in. I just want to say it's something to think about. It really is something to think about. And if you're down, if you're ready, I'm ready. I am truly ready. I'm not ready to fight. I'm not ready to argue. I'm just ready to put it on the table. Because I think it was y'all Jesus that said, angry but sin not. Yeah, I ain't gonna say that I'm not. I'm not angry. I'm disappointed, and to see what's still going on, and I know it's still going on, and hatred and evil and all that is always going to go on. I always feel that everything is purposeful. When we look at the deaths of George Floyd and everyone else that has passed away, and the people that's still losing their lives off of this, I think it's more than enough time now for us to say enough is enough, and let's go ahead and start putting a bill together. Because that's all they understand. They don't understand our temper tantrum. They don't understand. This is why he came out yesterday holding up the Bible. I heard upside down. I think he is so funny. He's such a comedian. But this is why he can come out and do this. Because they know they use their weapon, and it's called the law, to keep us oppressed. So why don't we take the same thing that we know we have our people in office, we know that we have a right, why don't we do the same thing? And save your feet for dancing, because before I protest, I'm going to go ahead and start dancing. Why don't we just do the same thing? If you're with me, if you hear what I'm saying, if you understand, inbox me. Because I would love to see this. Now that I will come out for. Go to Congress and put it in session. Here you go. This is what the bill will. Go to your local representatives and stuff. So we could start from Congress. We could come on down. But this is the only way it's going to stop. If we come out, speak up, and get our voices heard in the right way. I will talk to y'all later. Okay, I can send a video. Oh, send me the video. Inbox me the video. I'm gonna send it. But thank y'all for joining, and I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.